Welcome back to your weekly roundup of everything that happened in Zenless Zone Zero, where we will cover everything that you missed inside and outside of the game. Obviously, the hot topic is none other than the Tour de Inferno 1.2 patch, which will be coming on September 25th. Naturally, this means that you should be sure to finish up any of the currently ongoing events from 1.1, and also if you are still trying to get Jane, it is now or never. Of course, there is a good chance that Jane will have a rerun at some point in the future, but who knows when that will happen. Of course, in Jane's place is going to be the new banner featuring Caesar King. As always, this banner will last for 3 weeks, so if you're wondering whether or not you should pull for her, well, I can't tell you what to do, but I do have a video going over her kit to help you make your own decision. And as always, along with the new character banner, the Wenjin banner will also rotate. And Caesar's engine is definitely one of the more unique when it comes to the previous limited engines. The reason I say this is because there are quite literally no other engine like it. It is going to be the only Defender engine available that provides impact percentage as its main stat. And also, the signature effect is very good. When any squad member triggers a perfect dodge or interrupts an enemy's attack, all squad members receive an 18% damage increase as well as a 12% daze increase for 20 seconds. This is of course a very nice effect. It is easy to trigger, and 18% more damage is nothing to scoff at. But the best thing about this is that unlike other signature engines, where their effects are very specifically tied to a character, say Shu Yan being an ether attacker, or Jane's engine requiring some dodges, Caesar's engine can honestly be used by any of the defenders in the game, since it's not reliant on Caesar herself, it's anybody in the team that can activate it. Now, that being said though, although this Wenjin is very good, it of course is by no means absolutely necessary or a must pull. Remember, every pull that you use trying to go for this engine is one pull less towards a whole new agent instead. But at the end of the day, it is up to you on whether or not you want to pull it. Naturally, the new story content will also be introduced with 1.2, and along with the story, some other new stages will also become available in the form of farming areas. So even though the weekly reset is about to happen, I would highly recommend on holding off on your 3 weekly Notorious hunts, as the new story will be introducing a new Notorious hunt stage, which will be dropping the new materials needed for Caesar and Bernice's core skills, and maybe even some other characters that could come available in 1.3. Speaking of new stages though, there will also be a new expert challenge stage. This is also what you need for upgrading the passive skills of Caesar and Bernice. This drops the purple materials. But aside from that, there is also going to be a new routine cleanup stage, where you can farm drive discs. This stage will feature the new Protopunk and Chaos Jazz disc sets. Once again, if you're wondering how good these are, I do have a video going over them, but the TLDR is basically, they're pretty good. Not just for Bernice and Caesar, but many other units could make use of these sets. And also the stage itself is just very efficient to farm. Chaos Jazz gives an alternative to the 2-piece Freedom Blues set, and the Proto-Punk set provides another Swing Jazz-like effect. These two sets are both dropping from the same stage, so you can happily farm them and be showered in a whole bunch of new discs that all end up rolling with the HP percent main stat. But as for some out-of-game things, we have yet another Twitter raffle competition, this time to commemorate the Caesar King trailer, of course. As usual, following the official Zenless Zone Zero Twitter account and reposting the tweet, which I will link down in the description below, will give you a chance to win a Bangbu phone stand. Also, as a side note, I would highly recommend just watching the Caesar trailer anyway, regardless of if you're entering the competition, especially the last part of the trailer. In fact, I don't even remember what happened anywhere else in the trailer. Just watch the last 30 seconds of the trailer if you like Caesar, or any of the characters really. Bernice, Lucy, Piper as well. Trust me, it's worth it. Otherwise though, that is the only event that we have so far at the time of this recording. I know there was sort of a precedent with Jane and Qingyi where they both had fan art events leading up to their release, and nothing as of yet has been announced for Caesar. Although I know I would love for fan artists to be incentivized to put out some more Caesar artwork myself. But of course, if one does get announced, you can be sure that I will let you all know in a future episode. Now though, moving on to the speculation zone, everyone's favorite part of the video. Starting off with some, I guess you could just say, thoughts about Caesar, especially considering the, I don't want to call it drama, but the talks of her getting buffed or nerfed and all sorts of things leading up to her release. So in my recent showcase video showing off her skill set, something that was pointed out was that according to some other sources, the duration of her shield that she provides was supposedly reduced to 60 seconds. Now I don't know where the people got this information from, and I don't know how old it is, Because I mean, again, looking at the creator server where I got the footage from, it is still a 90-second shield. So we'll have to see whether or not that is actually true, but I am very much leaning towards the 90 seconds and not the 60 seconds, as again, this is on the creator server. I can look at it right now and it is still 90 seconds. But on the topic of the nerfs and buffs and whatever, let's say that for whatever reason, this is true and it is a 60-second shield only. Yes, technically speaking, it is a nerf. A number was reduced from 90 to 60. It's 50% less, oh my goodness. But context does matter. It's not like her damage was reduced by 50% or her debuff effect was reduced by 50%. It's her shield, which you can very easily refresh in many different ways, easily within a 1-minute period. So right now, obviously, we're talking about Caesar, but I think this concept can apply to many other characters now and in the future of whenever we hear a nerf or a buff, context matters. Because yes, something was changed. Will it matter for the most part? Probably not. But either way though, ideally, this should not matter too much for most of you watching. At the end of the day, you should ideally be pulling for characters that you like, and not because of their state of the meta or how well they will clear Shiyu defense. Because if you are the type of person that is purely pulling for meta and to get the most effective teams, I have bad news for you. Every new character will be forced into the meta, thanks to rotating Shiyu defense buffs, which will almost always favor the new unit. But next up, I know we are all excited for 1.2, however, we can probably start to expect to see some 1.3 drip marketing coming soon too. For example, Caesar and Bernice were first revealed officially before Chingy's banner even started. As for who might be shown off for 1.3, I think there's a very good chance that we will see Lighter, considering that we are with the Sons of Caledon faction right now, and we've been seeing quite a bit of him in trailers so far for 1.2. But as for the next character, maybe Section 6? We have seen a bit of them in each of the patches so far. At launch we had the Miyabi cutscene, and in 1.1 we had both Haramusa and Yanagi help us out as we ran towards Nineveh. Not only that though, their models are in-game, but we saw Haramusa and Yanagi help us out in battle. So it is possible that their animations are already being worked on. Or who knows, maybe they're working on somebody completely different and catch all of us by surprise. Until we see who it is though, we can do nothing but speculate. So let's have some fun and speculate down in the comments below. Who do you think will be shown off in 1.3? I imagine everyone's going to say Lighter, but that other character, that is the big money question, isn't it? And lastly, if you are watching this and it is currently the 23rd of September, it is currently my birthday, which means that if you made it to the end of the video, you are now legally obliged to subscribe to the channel, or else you will lose your next 50-50. I'm sorry, but those are the rules. Otherwise though, that is going to be it for this week's news roundup of Zenless Zone Zero. As always, if you found this video useful, liking, commenting and subscribing is greatly appreciated. So until next time, bye bye.